recap of last week, how we feel about Texas and Bama. Um, we got any thoughts there on the way Texas came out and played, or the way that Bama played? Who
Man,
kicking
I
it
think
off? Who kicking it off?
I think I think Texas had the recipe to have success. And what you have to do at Bama, you got to take shots down the field for number one, and you got to have a quarterback, that's willing to take those opportunities, but also can make plays that's not on script. And like Ken said before we started, if he don't get hurt, there's a good chance Bama's not at number one this week. Maybe not even top five. Maybe they fall to five. Who knows? But he did get hurt. Bama ended up winning the game. As you can see, Texas, they struck and they gave the reigning Heisman Trophy winner too much time. And you see what he went and did. So, kudos to Texas for fighting. But, I mean, how can you deny, Bryce Young and the Crimson Tide?
Man, just to piggyback off what Bill said, man, I think he gave you the two keys to actually being Bama, man. Taking shots and having a playmaker at quarterback, somebody who can extend plays. I really think that Sarkisian came in with a great plan, utilized his players well. Although I think he called a great game, I think he did come up short in some certain situations. I think he could have handled it a little bit better. Mainly that going into halftime, not really being aggressive, trying to get the 7 points, really playing back conservative and trying to go for the three and then end up missing it. I think that was a big blow to the team, man. So, but he's definitely got that program going in the right way.
Man, do we think it's too much for people to already be saying what Bama isn't? For the guys who have played the game, man, is it just? I remember one thing Van Gordy used to say, man, you get what you earn and respect the game, bro. So, can it just be a good football team, or just because a team plays Bama close, do we go directly into saying, having question marks around Bama's game and so forth? Because honestly, I think it could be a wake-up call. We've seen it before where they take over and anybody get in they way, like Lo said last week, it's the beginning of the bloodbath. So I mean, are we high on Texas? Are we low on Bama, or do we just feel like it was a great game, great college football matchup?
Yeah.
I think people are taking the obvious stance, putting all the attention on Texas. Salute to Sarkisian, salute to those boys putting up a fight, coming out with a solid game plan. I don't think enough people talking about the adjustments Saban made in the second half. They took number 8 out the game, period. Sarkisian did a good job trying to adjust and get it to him in the short game, but they took the deep ball away, regardless of who was at quarterback. So I feel like that adjustment alone kind of hindered and changed their game plan a lot, and not enough people talking about that. Not enough people talking about Bama having a brand new receiving core, having a brand new transfer at running back. Bryce Young is the only really person coming back from last year, so he got a whole new supporting cast around him. So I think that was a great learning opportunity for those guys, and I think they're just going to continue to build off of that. Bama's defense up front still solid. I think the back half got a nice test, and I think they're just going to continue to get better. So I think people, like I said, salute to Texas, but I don't think people understand the lessons learned from that game from a Alabama perspective, and I think they're going to continue to improve off of that.
Sure, man. It's a tough environment out there, man.
Yeah.
Tough environment. So they
Hey,
found a way to
those
win.
guys on scholarship too, man.
Absolutely. What you think, Kenny?
Man, hell of a game. Texas came out and fight. If that quarterback didn't hurt, right there with y'all, like I said earlier. And just looking back at it, man, Bama, they got hit. They got hit in the mouth. But I think this is really gonna piss them boys off. For Texas to start 2 true freshmen, Bama ended up having 3 sacks at the end of the game. I would think that they would have had more. So by both teams really adding up with just both of them ending up with 3 sacks apiece, kudos to that. I think Bama be pissed off after this game. I think they're going to be a bloodbath like Lo said. But one thing I can tell from that is Bama is not unbeatable. At the end of the day, they put their shoes on just like everybody else. Texas came to them, and they tried to put up a fight with them. Sarkisian had a great plan, and they followed it through. But unfortunately, they came up short at the end.
Yeah, bro. Bama know how to win. That's at the end of the day, man. When you know how to win, it matters, bro. It's Kentucky the real deal. Went into the swamp, something that none of us here thought was gonna happen. Quarterback situation. Richardson was being compared to Cam Newton last week. At one point.
Body type. No,
Body
don't go
type.
there.
What is Kentucky the real deal? We talked about Stoops, what he's been building the past few years. I mean, I think that's a huge win for him career wise, and it definitely kind of a statement to where Kentucky's program is at when you think about the SEC right now.
I mean, it's still the SEC least. This ain't his first time beating Florida. This ain't the best Florida team he done beat. He done beat Dan Mullen when Dan Mullen had a top 15, top 10 team. So he just beat a unranked Florida team, right?
They were
ranked. They get in?
It was ranked 12.
Yeah, they was ranked
12?
They moved them boys to 12 after.
Dang, I'm for one game.
After they beat Utah, yeah.
Now Utah was ranked 7, right? Coming into the
still though, you don't go from that's a hell of a jump, boy. Hey, we weren't the only ones who must have thought Cam was back there, huh?
Correct.
Shit, man, Florida ain't showing that, man. We was on the hype train. We thought they was gonna look like something from week 1, and I'm still not gonna count out Richardson so early, but disappointing loss from my perspective. Like I said, I still feel like Kentucky. I said it last week. I think they got a threshold ceiling they're gonna always get to. I mean, from my perspective, they don't play anybody outside. Like usually somebody from the East match up with a couple of juggernauts from the SEC West. They're not one of those teams that typically plays the best from the West. I don't know what their schedule look like this year as far as what teams out the West they play, but me personally, like I said, I'm not gonna jump the gun and say Kentucky's proven anything there. So we'll see. More to come on that from my perspective, anyway.
Man, I like what they're going. Like I said, I'm gonna always be a little bit biased. I think, like I said, for the past few years they've been putting something together. But you're right. We still know where they stand in the SEC and who's gonna be the juggernauts week in and week out.
Hey, somebody check their schedule. Let me know. Do they play like LSU or Arkansas?
Yeah. No, they don't play anybody. They play Georgia like the second to last week. So that's not, you really not going. But I also say this though, you can't. In the past, it's been you can look at Kentucky and you can mark that as a W, right?
Oh yeah.
I don't think that's the case now, right? So we went off a few things, but you guys. With the quarterback situation, and then just being Florida, being able, at home in the swamp, night game, prime time, you just don't expect Kentucky to come in and beat them. So a couple of things, I think they are heading in the right direction. But I definitely don't think you can just look at Kentucky and say, this is a dub. You know what I'm saying? You got to come out. You got to come out. You got to prepare the right way, and you got to execute.
Hey, one other thing, bro. Richardson, I know we was high on that train, but I think it's a reason to be like, let's not take nothing from him. He's a sophomore. I looked it up right now. He's just a sophomore. We know talent. I think everybody here can say like he got a chance to be special.
Right.
But you can see, like, obviously being in that spotlight and they put that camera on you, don't know that camera on you. He looked kind of glassy eyed, like, so like, is this really going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, did he really just squat on that ball I just threw out there? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he hadn't really seen somebody switch the coverage up, you know what I'm saying, pre-snap or whatever the case may be. He just looked kind of like, damn, like, wow, So, yeah.
Hey, man.
And I feel like they didn't run the ball enough either. Go ahead, Smooth.
I'm just saying, man, hats off to Stoops for turning that program around, really building it, man. Over some years, like he's really turned them into a contending. Yeah. I don't know contending like what I'm saying, college football, but I mean they are a solid program, like you said. You used to count it as a dub, but I mean You got to be ready to play, man. He had his guys ready to go down there. After Florida had just got a big win at home, he went in the UF and came out with a dub, man. So salute to him and whatever he told his team, man, to get them mentally prepared to go in there and battle.
Hey, and with that Smooth, we know, like you said, Kentucky is not a guaranteed win. When you look at the rest of the schedule, you got UGA. That's the one everybody knows. UGA, you think can go smack them around just because of the program. But hey, we know what can happen if they run the table right here with South Carolina, Tennessee, Mississippi State coming up. You might get a nice little ball.
They play State. They got a couple fights on their hands.
They got Mississippi. Yeah,
Tennessee and the Mississippi State game gonna be.
They have Ole Miss too, right? Do they got Ole Miss?
Yeah, they got Ole Miss. All of them top 20. All of them top 20 matchups because you got.
Okay. Yeah, they Stu's got a little gauntlet in front of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We shall see.
Yes. Hey, how we feel about our Tigers? San Jose State battle. Last week we played into the fourth quarter. How do we feel about that game? What did we see? Current quarterback situation. Just overall of our program and how we look.
I was embarrassed personally. I don't know if you saw in the rivalry comment. You saw Mark Beard come in and said we barely winning games against teams we supposed to be blowing out. So. Me personally,
former UGA tackle guard, Mark Beard.
Yeah, so we don't have any respect around from our peers around the conference, from former players, current players. We didn't go out and show the Auburn football that I knew. For me, I'm just spectating. I'm gonna keep my comments on but the rest of it. Like I said, embarrassment. To be honest. Feel like they shouldn't have been able to stick around. First 3 quarters was just sloppy on both sides of the ball. No dominance was solidified on either side. So nothing promising, nothing we can hang our head on from what I saw.
Best thing we seen, man, we came out with a dub, man, after a weekend where it was a lot of upsets. That's what I could take away from that, man. But a lot of question marks for the Tigers, man. A lot of question marks. A lot of going back and forth. I wish some guys would just make a decision and run with it. But outside of that and what Ladarius said, man, I don't have too much to say, man. I'm gonna go ride for him. But a lot of question marks all over the place.
Yeah, man. I one of the big football sayings, and we've heard this for countless years, the biggest jump your football team makes are between weeks 1 and 2. So I guess we about to see. We about to see. Because I didn't watch the game. I told the fans last week I wasn't gonna watch it. Didn't watch it. All right. I'll be tuned in this side. I want to see what they're gonna do. But those cupcakes didn't turn out to be cupcakes. Got Penn State rolling in.
They was cupcakes. We just was the icing on the damn cupcakes.
Hey, we got to get it together, and I hope they do. We definitely got to get it together. It's gonna be probably some people getting threats and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. Not for me. I'm just saying. You know how that goes.
Well, fellas, man, what I say on it, man, is we got to win. We got a dub, so that's the only thing that matters, man. We started out real sloppy. I want to say, like, the first drive, man, we had like 3 or 4 penalties. That was embarrassing. Clearly, we was overlooking the opponent. Came out there on our high horses, and that's what happens when you're not focused.
It's happened to the best of them.
It happens to the best of them, man. And me knowing how Harsin is, man, I think he's gonna get that under control for this week. With the whole quarterback situation, Smooth, I think this is our quarterback situation. Finland's gonna be our starter. Asher will probably come in every now and then, spark the crowd, give the offense a little spark, just a little juice, a little different dynamic of just running the ball with the quarterback. But overall, the defense look okay. Did pretty good against the run, I would say. And just by those 2 turnovers, we weathered the storm on it, man. That's the end of the day. They had 2 turnovers that defense could have folded the whole game because of the way how everything was going. At the end of the day, man, we fought through it. We got the dub. I think this week should be a better week. So that's my outlook on it, man.
Who's
got
picking
Alright.
Auburn to win, though?
Moving into predictions. Hold on, moving into predictions. First off, we're going Miami, Texas A&M. Got Miami playing against Texas A&M. Texas A&M had a huge upset last week. Who we got?
It's in Miami.
It's in Texas A&M, College Station.
I picked-
Let me tell you this: the spread is 5.5. Texas A&M had 9 first downs against Appalachian State. They were 2 for 8 on third downs, 38 total plays. That's it. 186 total yards. They didn't even have 200 total yards. Time possession was very lopsided. Quarterback situation is very much like Auburn's. So,
Which is why I don't understand why they let the boy go.
I don't either. My heart, I want to go at Miami, coming there upset, but I'm thinking Jimbo just too embarrassed. He makes the adjustments. I'm gonna go A&M by 3.
Which T, I think Jimbo tore into everybody's ass after that game. Coaches, players, administrators, everybody got it after that game. I think Texas A&M gonna come out. Texas A&M gonna come out big time with the dub this week.
Yeah, Jimbo definitely has something to say. If anybody knows Jimbo, he ain't afraid to let one go. But I think Texas A&M will win the game. I know what I had to say about Jimbo, but I think he'll get him right. I think he has I don't know how many times he's lost to Miami when at Florida State, if he ever lost. I don't know. So I think he knows him pretty well, and I'm just not sure Miami's back yet. So I'm going to go with safe pick Texas A&M.
I'm not gonna lie, fella. I know I picked Texas A&M for it all this year. But this whole App State thing, man, I'm not gonna lie. I did not see that coming. Man, App State attempted to run the ball 52 times on Texas A&M. 52.
SEC.
Talking about running
It's
and
about
making it
SEC.
I know, man. Texas A&M, they attempt to run it 18 times. 18. Fellas, man.
Boy, so
Miami, man, and Miami got a defense, man. They coached by Kevin Steele, the former Auburn defensive coordinator, man. And one thing I do know about Steele, man, he gonna come with it. And Mario Cristobal, them, man, they got something going on. I think the U is coming back slowly, but one day possible that it's gonna be back to how it was, or somewhat close to it. Man, for the sake of my pick earlier, I gotta go with Texas A&M. But man, I'm telling you, fellas, I'm not feeling too good about it, man. So I'm being honest, man. I hope Jimbo. Hey, Jimbo, if you see this now, hey, I need you to strap up, dog. I need you.
Hey,
I'm gonna make this pick right. So right now, I'm gonna go with Texas A&M, man. I'm probably go with them by 3 points.
man, I felt like the Texas A&M pick before the season, Ken, was very smart. Everybody knows the recruiting classes, the staff that they got down there. Coach Craig, Jimbo, so forth. But man, I think Miami might have something. Like, I think for the past few years, everybody's saying is the U back, blah blah blah. I think they might be back to compete right now, man. I think this is gonna be a big win. So with everything that's going on with Texas A&M right now, I'm taking Miami to come in with the upset. I think the attitude again from the guys. We know, man. A lot of it is who's gonna be tougher. I think Miami wants it right now. And coming off a loss like that, guys don't want to practice. You come in on Sunday against an App State, guys don't feel like working out. Guys don't feel like going through stretches. I think Miami ready to rock and roll, man, and prove to the country that they're ready to play some ball. So, and right now Miami's ranked where they at? Oh man, where we at? Where we at? 13. They're sitting at 13 right now, which is, that's impressive for them. So I think they want to keep the ball rolling, man.
Fellas,
Wow, 2 back-to-back losses at home for Jimbo.
I'm telling you, man, the thing is, man, the real question is, though, Texas A&M, remember, they fired Kevin Sumlin and hired Jimbo. So let's think about that now. Being honest, has Jimbo did anything that makes that, like, credible?
Jimbo,
All right, let's do it. Let's
Jimbo
do it. Hold
has
on, let's do
recruited
it. Let's do it. Auburn, Penn State,
the pick.
2.5 minutes left. We want to get everybody's picks in. Very important. Saturday, 2:30. Who we got?
Auburn.
I love it. Ron White, Auburn.
I'm gonna go Auburn at home. Auburn by 3.
That's too far, Tigers.
Hate to do it. I think we're gonna get out coached. At the very least. I don't think we're gonna pull out of this one. I think the quarterback situation is too and too much of a frenzy right now. The team doesn't have any identity. So I'm gonna go Franklin on that.
James Franklin coming into Jordan Hare with a big win.
Yep.
Respect.
Oh man.
Man, fellas, man, James Franklin is a hell of a coach. Hell of a coach. But for me, my little time being with Harsin, man, he's a very smart guy, man. Hard knows, he believe in, hey, he can accomplish anything. If you're back against the wall, he will come out trying to fight. So my thing is, man, I'm gonna go with Auburn. I'm going with us at home. Because one thing it is, we all know for sure it's hard to come in Jordan Hare and get a win. And that's the end of it right there, man. So I'm going with Auburn, and I'm going by a touchdown.
Ken, you so lucky we got time limit. I swear, boy, I'll get into your head right now. Man, you and this Harsin, you keep on talking about this dude. He ain't proved nothing. How many games he won last
This the
year?
one. This is the one that after last season, it took control of our season. It started going downhill, and again, this is the one again. It's going to determine whether it goes downhill immediately, or we can continue to compete because we know how our fan base is, and we know the offseason that we're coming off of. So I think it's a must win by Harsin. I think with everything that's going on from a lot of movement, AD wise, if we don't take this one, man, it gets very ugly on the Plains. But again, I take the Tigers. We figure it out. We get our run game going, and we win by 10.
Oh wow.
Boy, you crazy.
More damn Eagles.